Welcome to the testing laboratory. Today's explainer is not your standard study session. We are running a high-stakes, real-time diagnostic audit. Look, for years, the internet has been absolutely flooded with viral study shortcuts, fake essay templates, and just honestly terrible revision assumptions that promise you an easy A-star. You've seen them, right? The TikToks promising a secret structure, the Reddit threads swearing by one weird vocabulary trick. Well, today, we're taking those exact online study lies and stress testing them live against the official, unbreakable Cambridge mark scheme. Specifically, we're targeting the AS and A-level Arabic Language 8680 syllabus, locking in on paper 018, essay writing, and the notorious challenge of using complex sentence patterns and vocabulary. I am your lead tester for today, and my core objective is to show you exactly how to jump from a B to an A-star by completely destroying those bad habits and rebuilding your methodology from the absolute ground up. Let's fire up the myth status bar and get to work.
Here is the rigorous structural blueprint we're using today. 1. The audit begins. 2. Theoretical architecture. 3. The procedural framework. 4. Examiner warnings. 5. Critical analysis. And 6. The mark scheme verdict. We're going to push your assumptions to the breaking point.
Phase 1, the audit begins. Let's initialize the first phase and look at the core concepts that actually define top-tier performance in this exam. We're loading up the cognitive target question. This is the exact question the senior examiner asks year after year. Why do students find interpreting complex data so incredibly hard? Now, let's be clear. When we say data in an advanced Arabic language essay, we don't just mean numbers in a spreadsheet. We mean the complex stimulus materials, the nuanced societal trends, or the specific text data layouts provided in your prompt. Students struggle with this because, frankly, they treat complex sentence patterns and advanced vocabulary like decorative ornaments on a Christmas tree. They genuinely think that throwing in a fancy Arabic idiom they found on a viral study blog will magically grant them marks. It's a huge myth. The examiners repeatedly report that candidates consistently fail to interpret the core relationships within the stimulus. They use high-level, sophisticated vocabulary, sure, but they apply it to incredibly low-level, simplistic observations. It's like putting a Ferrari engine inside a shopping cart. The structure just can't handle it. Phase 2, theoretical architecture. Let's shift gears and establish the foundational theoretical principles the Cambridge Assessment Framework actually demands. All right, it's time for our first major stress test. Let's call this myth number 1. If you write more pages, you automatically get more marks. I want you to picture a student, let's call him Tester Alex. Alex believes every viral social media revision shortcut. Right now, on his diagnostic console, he is frantically overloading his essay blocks with irrelevant jargon. He's dumping pages and pages of a generic, pre-written Arabic introduction onto the exam paper, hoping to overwhelm the examiner with superficial breadth. But here's the mark scheme reality, flashing bright red on our volatility grid. Cambridge exclusively prioritizes logical, analytical depth, period. Unstructured page dumping actually triggers an immediate marking penalty. The academic benchmarks require tight, logical, structured reasoning. If you just write wide and shallow, operating under the assumption that sheer volume equals high quality, your structural physics will collapse under examiner stress testing, and your score will tank. Let me read you this direct quote straight from the principal examiner reports because this is the absolute antidote to the page dumping myth. Quote, candidates referencing cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks, unquote. Top-performing students do not just dump memorized words. They develop deep, hierarchical mental schemas. They show a connected, conceptual understanding that they can easily transfer to totally unfamiliar contexts. When tester Alex uses his generic, downloaded template, it has zero cross-topic connections. It's just a dead island of memorized text floating in his essay. To actually secure marks here, your complex Arabic sentences have to act as bridges, actively connecting different concepts across the entire syllabus. Phase 3, the procedural framework. If unstructured writing and fake templates fail the test, what actually succeeds? Let's step into the lab. We need a bulletproof procedural sequence. When you face a high-tariff past paper question, you have to run this exact 6-step algorithm. First, deconstruct the question line by line. Second, extract the highly relevant data or arguments from the stimulus materials. Third, select your analytical framework, meaning exactly how are you going to argue this. Fourth, execute with clear notation and those complex Arabic sentence patterns. Fifth, verify your results against the core command word. And sixth, present with absolute correct terminology. Now, contrast Alex with another student, let's call him Tester Sam. Sam is a very fast writer who thinks that just deploying massive multisyllable Arabic words compensates for totally ignoring the prompt's core command word. But without a direct, tailored analytical link to that specific command word, his entire paragraph structure collapses. By forcing yourself to stop and run this exact sequence, execute, verify, present, your writing transforms from a chaotic brain dump into an unshakable, top-band structural asset. Now, here is a concept you absolutely must integrate into your cognitive network: the method mark strategy. This is a vital marking mechanism where candidates are actually awarded marks for showing their accurate analytical process, even if their final conclusion is slightly off. Think of it as your academic safety net during a high-pressure exam scenario. The examiners aren't just looking for a magic right answer. They desperately want to see your systematic deconstruction of complex concepts. If your complex sentences clearly demonstrate that you are weighing two opposing viewpoints, you are literally banking method marks for that critical process. You are proving to the examiner that your analytical machinery is fully operational, even if the final output isn't 100% perfect. And you have to wrap all of that analysis in the correct packaging. The syllabus absolutely demands strict convention rules when you are presenting complex information. Whether you are extracting statistical data mentioned in an Arabic text or organizing your own argumentative formats, your presentation precision is strictly non-negotiable. Proper terminology, appropriate formatting, and a highly visible sequence of thought are required. Listen, data interpretation is not just for math and science. When an Arabic language prompt gives you a socioeconomic trend to analyze, you must interpret those structural relationships and draw evidence-based conclusions with absolute, undeniable structural integrity.
Phase 4, examiner warnings. System alarm triggered. We need to expose the most dangerous structural pitfalls that destroy student results every single year. I'm pulling this raw data straight from the principal examiner reports. These are the top 3 fatal errors you must avoid. Number 1, confusing cause and effect. Using incredibly advanced Arabic vocabulary to eloquently state that X caused Y, when the stimulus material clearly shows that Y caused X, will instantly vaporize your analytical depth score. Number 2, forgetting units and format when referencing specific stimulus data. And number 3, this is the absolute biggest mythbuster of the day: answers not specific to the context given. Students constantly try to use massive, impressive-sounding Arabic paragraphs they memorized from some forum. But because those paragraphs are not perfectly, chemically welded to the specific context of the prompt, the examiner grid instantly flags them as totally irrelevant. Let me be absolutely clear. Massive vocabulary cannot and will not cover up a lack of contextual precision. Look at this urgent alert flashing on the screen from the examiners themselves. Students consistently lose marks by not showing their working. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, how do I show working in a language essay? This isn't calculus. You show your working by making your analytical thought process completely visible through your sentence structure. This is where frameworks like the Peel structure, point, evidence, explanation, link, become your best friend. You deploy sophisticated comparative connectives. You actively show the examiner exactly how you arrived at your conclusion. Hiding your analytical workings behind vague, flowery, overly poetic language is a guaranteed way to forfeit those vital method marks we just talked about. Phase 5, critical analysis. Let's enter the interactive viewer arena and demonstrate exactly how to execute a top-band critical and comparative analysis live. Welcome to the mark per minute budget roll. I'm putting a 4-minute visual countdown timer on this. Here is the exact chronological progression of a highly successful comparative analysis paragraph. Minute 1, you scan the data matrix and immediately identify the core similarities and differences in the prompt's concepts. Minute 2, this is where you deploy your advanced vocabulary, specifically using sophisticated comparative connectives in Arabic to link those concepts. Minute 3, you weld your data to your analysis, meaning you strictly support every single comparison with specific, undeniable evidence extracted from the text. And minute 4, you draw highly specific conclusions about their relative importance. Here's the reality check. If your logic breaks down at minute 2 because you used a fake shortcut, your entire structure collapses before you even reach the evidence phase. You absolutely must build your structural links using this exact chronological sequence. And how do you ensure you have the exact right evidence loaded and ready for minute 3? You build knowledge maps. The ultimate, undisputed mark-winning asset in this exam is a knowledge map that visibly connects related syllabus areas. The examiners state that the most challenging aspect of this specific exam is integrating knowledge.
So if you can mentally or even visually on your scratch paper map out exactly how advanced vocabulary regarding, say, the environment intricately connects to vocabulary regarding economics, you will completely overcome that challenge of integration. You'll be able to deploy complex sentence structures with absolute undeniable authority. Phase 6, the mark scheme verdict. Let's review the final status of our audit and see if our rebuilt strategies survive the official Cambridge Examiner grid.
Let's distill everything from today's lab session into the 3 universal truths you need for total exam victory. Truth number 1, utilize the method mark strategy. You must make your analytical thinking perfectly visible through your sentence structure using frameworks like the Peel method. Truth number 2, check all formatting and contextual precision. Do not ever rely on superficial breadth or page dumping. Volume does not equal marks. And truth number 3, connect cross-topic concepts with robust knowledge maps. This ensures your advanced Arabic vocabulary is actually saying something deeply meaningful and contextually accurate. System pause. Before we fully wrap up this diagnostic sweep, you need to secure your academic defense network. As we've proven today, bad study advice is literally everywhere, and generic copy-pasted templates will absolutely not save you in a high-level Cambridge exam. The only way to guarantee your methodology is unbreakable is to consistently verify your strategies. So right now, hit subscribe to Ace the Exams at the handle @AceTheExams and turn on all notifications. Whether you're tackling IGCSE, O-levels, AS, or A-levels, do not let viral internet lies compromise your final grades. Lock in your defense network today. I am going to leave you with a final provocative thought. Next time you see a viral exam hack promising an effortless A-star, you need to stop and ask yourself, would this actually survive contact with the official Cambridge mark scheme? So what is the weirdest, most ridiculous exam hack you've ever seen online? Drop a comment below right now so we can load it into the lab and stress test it in our next masterclass. Keep your structure strong, trust the mark scheme, and I will see you in the next explainer.